right, let's cross our fingers. Is it working? I need you to be working. There we go. All right, I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get in here. But what's up, everybody? If you're watching the replay, welcome. My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media, and I'm a board certified credit repair specialist, credit score consultant, and a certified financial education instructor. I use my platform to teach you guys about the importance of understanding what credit is, how credit works, and how it applies to your life. It's been a while. I've been gone for like a week, and I felt like I was going through credit withdrawals. So I got a couple things I want to talk to you guys about today. The biggest thing being that, yes, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I'm not gonna lie, I missed y'all. It was so hard. It was so hard not answering emails and trying not to respond to people too much on social media during my vacation. But I am well rested and really just ready to get back into it. With back to school, literally being around the corner, I really want to talk to you guys about these credit cards. For a lot of parents, myself included, back to school is a really expensive time for us. Not to mention, not only is back to school around the corner, but if the kids are going back to school, that means Christmas is literally down the block. So we need to start planning accordingly. So I really want to talk to you guys about credit cards. Y'all know how I feel about credit cards, first off. Oh, y'all missed me. Thank you. Oh. Y'all know how I feel about credit cards. And so I really want to talk to you guys so that we can get everything together now so that y'all not calling me come January, February because you fucked up, right? So if you miss any part of the live, just know that this will be recorded. You'll be able to watch this on YouTube as soon as I end the live, as well as on Facebook at Markia B aka the Money Plug, or you can look in the Facebook group Plugged In at the Credit Clubhouse. Don't be expediting 2022. Listen, whether I acknowledge it or not, it is coming. Okay, and it's coming quick. It is coming quick. So for those of you who don't know, I've been homeschooling my kids. I'm gonna call you anyway. For those of you who don't know, I've been homeschooling my kids for the last 3 years. So this is my kids' first year in public school, and for my oldest two in a really long time. So this is my first official back to school since we've been back in America. And I'm not really excited for it. Only because as much as I tell you guys that you should only be spending money that you have, I can 1000% guarantee that I'm going to overspend for back to school, simply because I feel like I've been out of the game for a while and I don't really know what to expect. So for myself and for you guys, I really wanted to kind of have this conversation now, because what the hell should you be spending on back to school? What credit cards should you be using? Like, I really wanted to kind of talk about it so that you guys don't feel left like lost in the sauce or feel like you're overdoing it or underdoing it. You want to get your kids everything that they need for the school year, but you really don't want to put yourself in a bind that you won't be able to get out of before Christmas. So it's really, really important that we or at the very least, you all are having these conversations in your home. Not, no, I'm good, Santa got me. I'm dead. Not if Santa ain't got no room on their credit card. So the reason why I keep talking about credit cards is because if you've been following me for a while, then you know I'm super pro credit cards. I know a lot of you don't like credit cards, really hesitant about getting new credit cards and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, when used properly, credit cards are actually a really useful tool to help you build or rebuild your credit. Honestly, when it comes to credit cards aren't the problem. You are. And you just can't take accountability for that in most cases. It's not the credit card that's overspending, not budgeting, not paying their balances down on time. It's you. And so if you can get a handle on that and use your credit card properly, you can actually get all the benefits out of it that you're supposed to, right? I know a lot of us were raised to believe like if you got to swipe a credit card to get it, you shouldn't get it, or don't use your credit cards, or credit cards are only for emergencies. But that's actually not true. Credit cards, who I'm going to talk to about what I spend? The cat? You make me sick. When it comes to credit cards were actually designed to replace your debit card. And I know that sounds really crazy, right? Because you're using somebody else's money. I think that's the most common excuse that I get. But in reality, that's exactly what credit cards were for. That's why when you start getting, the higher tier credit cards, they start rewarding you for everyday purchases like gas and groceries and eating out, because they want to encourage you to use these more. Now, when it comes to your credit cards, I very rarely talk about store cards, but back to school is probably the time that my store cards actually get the most use. And I'm really speaking to my parents when I say this, but especially younger parents. A lot of people be like, don't get store cards. The balances are low. The credit limits are low. It's not worth it. Da, 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 da. And I'm right there with you. I get it. If you don't shop at these stores regularly, then no, you should not get store cards. I don't care that Home Depot will give you a 15% discount or $20 off if you apply for the credit card. Matter of fact, I was on a Spirit flight this past week, and literally at the end of the flight, they were like, well, hey, we're coming around with these applications. If you fill it out, you get all these points, whether or not you're approved. And so many people were filling them out just to get the points, not really understanding the consequence of that action. But if you shop at these stores all the time, or you do a lot of shopping, like maybe even if it's just annually or semi-annually, then those cards can actually be valuable in helping you build your credit too. For example, Children's Place or Target. Those are probably my most used store cards, especially during back to school. Like, to be honest, sale, no sale, Target is getting all of my coins. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. But I have smaller children, so Children's Place is kind of like my go-to when it comes time for me to buying clothes and things like that for my kids. And so for me, the Children's Place credit card just makes sense. Now, I don't shop at Macy's. I don't shop at JCPenney's. So why would I have that card? Even if I'm just shopping, like I need a blazer or something for work, I run into Macy's and they're like, well, if you apply for this, we'll give you a discount. So I don't shop here often. Why would I need this? Why would I need this card? It makes no sense. Somebody said Spirit got a credit card. Yes, Spirit has a credit card. And it kind of shocked me just how they were advertising it like literally mid and the end of the flight. But I'm not surprised, right? I'm literally not surprised at all. And I'm pretty sure it's just this. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. No, we're going to be nice. But when it comes to store cards, they can actually be very useful for periods in time like this one, like back to school. Simply because for some of us, we got a lot of kids, or maybe that might just be me. I got a lot of kids. And so my monthly cash flow isn't conducive to me dropping bands on my kids for back to school every August or July or whenever I start shopping. And so, yeah, I will use my Children's Place and my Target cards, and I probably won't even pay the balance all the way down that first month. And I know my money, so I know that I can do that. But this goes back to, you guys got to make sure that you're budgeting. You got to make sure that you're managing your money properly. You got to make sure that you have the discipline that's required in order for you to not only maximize the benefits of your credit card and the points that you can get from that, but you also want to minimize the adverse impact of the increased credit utilization for your credit report. This kind of ties into when I'm always talking about mindset. You guys can hire all the people you want to hire when it comes to fixing your credit. That's fine. You can hire whoever the hell you want. But at the end of the day, if you don't fix the discipline problem or the I pay my credit card whenever I can get to it problem, or I'm not paying my car note on time problem, or I got a couple evictions on my credit report because I don't pay my rent on time problem, then you're going to continue to have these problems even after the person you hired does the work to repair your credit. The building is just important as the repair. And every decision that you make that requires you to pay attention to your finances is you building or fucking up the building of your credit. And you got to start thinking about it like that. A lot of us are making these snap decisions because we want this or we want that or we want to do this, and we're robbing Peter to pay Paul and not understand the total consequences of these actions. And I really need you guys to start getting into the mindset of get out the moment for a second. What's going to happen a week from now or a month from now when your credit scores refresh, or a year from now when your car shits on you and you have to go get another one, but you weren't paying your credit cards on time. So now your payment history took a hit and now your credit scores dropped. You guys got to start thinking about the long-term consequences of these quick responses to these life-altering issues that a lot of you don't realize aren't that important anyway. And I know that's situational. I'm not going to respond to that. I know that's situational. So let me be abundantly clear. I'm also a realist. Life happens. I know that sometimes shit happens and I'm going to have that missed payment, but you also need to understand your credit enough to know what you need to do to overcome that. So, all right, cool. I missed a payment. My credit card was like 35 days late. So boom, I got hit with that late payment. So now what? I can't just turn around and try to dispute it. I can't just turn around and ask for a goodwill letter because I've given them nothing to show them that this is not a pattern. So what do I do now? Well, I know, okay, if payment history is 35% of my credit score and I got this late payment and I can't really get it off right now, this means that I need to add accounts to my profile that's going to maybe add some more on-time payment history so that I can demonstrate a pattern of positive reporting information. So let me go back through, oh, okay, my mental Rolodex. I know that I can get these prepaid credit cards like the Chime Credit Builder card or the Credit Sesame Cash card. I can use these cards to add that on-time payment history without affecting my credit utilization. And this will help me recover some of those points over time that I lost with that late payment. So those are, oh, thank you so much. These are things that you guys have to understand. These are why I'm constantly going live and talking to you guys, because I keep saying the same stuff over and over. The more I expose you guys to this information, the more it'll become second nature when you have to make these decisions. And that's the overall goal when we're doing this. This knowledge is my discipline. I see that now. I need links to the budgeting tools you actively use. Oh, okay. So I was going to talk about that anyway. So one thing about me is I'm huge on fintech. I love an app. I keep telling people, oh, somebody said I keep restarting my budget. I'm actually going to talk about that. I'm so glad you said that too. I'm real big on apps because I'm always on the go. Like I'm doing this, I'm public speaking, I'm homeschooling, I'm still somebody's wife. I still have a life to live, right? I'm still trying to go out and do stuff. So I love convenience. I love being able to just do stuff on the go. And so for me, I rely a lot on apps or, not even or. I rely a lot on apps to maintain my discipline as well as to keep an eye on my finances. So on top of my regular banking apps, sometimes I like, oh, you know what? I actually said something to somebody earlier. I really hope she's on here. I can't see. Shoot. I can't see. I wish I could see who all was on here on TikTok, but somebody asked me earlier about like those quick money apps. I know y'all be seeing apps that be like, it'll borrow from your paycheck if you need like $20 here, $30 there. I've been using this app called Dave for years, back when I was still active duty. And if you ever been in the military, you know, they never pay you enough. But when it was just a couple extra days to payday, I would use Dave. And what it does is it would loan me money and then come out automatically when I get paid. Now, this is not to say that this is going to add money to your budget, because you're actually going to be paying back more, right? Because nothing is for free. But Dave was one of the first apps that I was introduced to that not only kind of taught me that I need to be paying attention to where my money is going every month, but it also kind of helped me stretch those last couple of days to payday. I think I pay like $1 a month to use Dave. And there's when you do an advance, I think it's like a $6 fee to get it instant, and it goes directly to your debit card. I think the most that you can take after you've been using them for a while is about $250. But I know somebody asked me about that earlier, and I promised them that I would get it on here so that they could watch it on the replay. So Dave was one of the apps that I use because Dave monitors your spending. You connect your bank account and it watches all of your transactions. It even predicts if you're going to end up going in the negative by analyzing some of the monthly expenses that you have, and then kind of hypothesizing what's going to happen with your finances once the check hits. It will literally send you a notification before it happens, like, yo, just so you know, you have an upcoming charge that could potentially put you in the negative. And I thought that was really, really cool. Somebody said they've been using YNAB. I've never heard of that. What is that? What's another app that I use? Another app that I use is Albert. I like Albert. I do not use their paid, like they have like something called Albert Genius. I do not use Albert Genius. I'll be honest with you guys, but I use the regular version of Albert, which again monitors my spending. But the reason why I like Albert a little more than Dave is because with Albert, it sends me these the notifications, and it's like, oh, low key, it be shaming me. And I'm one of those people where I need somebody to embarrass me in order for me to make sure like everything's on the up and up. And so like with Albert, it'd be like, girl, you went to 7-Eleven 13 times in the last 3 months. Like, or, hey, do you know that you went to Chick-fil-A 7 times this week? Like, it literally will send you notifications like that. And it shames me. And I'll be like, oh, did I really? And then I'm going through my finances. It also analyzes subscriptions that I have. And it tells me which subscriptions I have. Like, hey, do you know you still have this subscription? Just so you track it. Or you have this amount of subscriptions that equals this amount of dollars if you want to check this out and maybe cancel one of these. So I like Albert because it tends to give me suggestions on how to improve my budget. Let's say I have something that I pay every month and the amount is $100, but then one month they charge me $200. Albert also catches that and notifies me like, yo, this charged you a little bit more than usual just so you're tracking. Like, I don't know. I feel like it just puts me on notice. So I really like Albert. Not enough to pay for Albert Genius, let me tell you, but I do like Albert. That's another app that I like. If you're only looking for like, you know, account monitoring / budgeting / but only if you're going to take the budgeting seriously, the Mint app is always is the GOAT in my opinion. Mint has been around for years. I think I've been using Mint since like 2014, I want to say. And it does require a lot of information on my part, but yes, it is spelled like Albert, Albert. With Mint, I really have to sit down and input all my information, put in all my goals, make sure I connect all of my accounts to include my credit cards, my loan information from my card. Like, it's a lot of information, and it took me about an hour or 2 hours to really get it together. But it does make it a little easier for me to monitor things. And then just like Albert, it sends me notifications when I'm nearing maybe the top of my budget for a specific category, or something like that. So that's another like fintech app that I definitely support. And then y'all know my usuals. Y'all know I talk about Goal Setter. For those of you who don't know, I've used Goal Setter for my children's homeschool curriculum. So for those of you with kids or even as adults, let me tell you, because I love Goal Setter. Oh, the app I was talking about before this was Mint, Mint. Goal Setter is a financial literacy app. It's owned by, well, it was created by Tanya Van Court. I got to meet her. She's amazing, first of all. But it's all about teaching financial literacy the right way. And I'm talking from the basics. And it did it in a way that my kids were able to not only understand it, but they were able to interact with it and actually receive it instead of me feeling like I'm shoving it down their throats. And if any of you have ever tried to teach your kids anything new, trust me, it's very stressful. But with Goal Setter, it made it easy. And not only that, it was something we could all do together. Like, I would be over their shoulder like, damn, is that what that means? And we've been using it for a while. So it was really cool to be able to meet the CEO of the company when I went to the Outro FinTech event in April. But I recommend that to everyone of all ages. They do have some paid subscriptions, but I 1000% believe that it is worth it. So for those of you who have young adults and you really don't know how to approach those conversations, I definitely think this is an app that could help with that process. What's in the book? Let me see. Albert Nosy. No, for real. I've had Mint for a minute too. What do you think about Bridget? So I haven't been using it long enough to have an opinion. I typically tell people that I want to use an app for about 3 months before I have a real opinion about it, if you want me to be honest. So give me like another month and a half and I'll have an opinion on it, but I don't have one yet. Well, it hasn't really given me a reason to dislike it so far, but I'm not giving it my stamp of approval just yet, if you want me to be honest with you. Now, another app that I talk about when we usually talk about credit building specifically, I've only used You Need a Budget. Oh, it's called, that's what it stands for. YNAB stands for You Need a Budget. I'm going to need a list because I'm finna do them all. Okay, let me write it down. I'll put a list in the Facebook group and on the regular page for you guys. So let me see, a list of fintech apps. And if you guys have some, please put them in the comments so other people can see them. Another app that I always talk about is that, what is it? Outro, ALTRO.io. I'm probably not saying it right. I always feel like I'm saying it wrong, but it used to be called Perch. It was the credit building app that Jay-Z invested into. And it's really, really cool because I've been able to talk to the CEO of this app a couple of times. And their goal is to not only provide access to people who are normally counted out in the credit building space, but to also educate. So yes, this app takes subscriptions that you guys have and it allows you to report that to your credit report to help you generate a score so that you can start generating credit, especially for you guys who are like just graduating high school or going into college, or you're in college and you really don't have a score, or you're not ready for a credit card, but you still want to start generating that history. I definitely recommend Outro if you have an iPhone. I don't think it's available in the Google Play Store just yet, but they do have it to where you can set up notifications when it is available. But the other side of this app is that it has a financial literacy section, and it teaches you, again, in a way that's relatable to you. I love that Michael, who's the CEO, is young, but he's kind of in our generation. So he knows what we like, what we dislike, and he knows like what makes us pay closer attention. The examples that are often used in the training are something that I can relate to. So I really, really like that app as well. No, I don't got my own app yet. I ain't making that. Cam, I ain't making that kind of money yet, but it's coming. I'm speaking it into existence. I will definitely do this one day. Have you used Status Money? It's similar to Mint with the community. Ooh, no. Let me write that down. Ooh. She said Status Money. Nope, but I will download it after this. But since we're talking about budgeting, so if you guys have been following me for a while, in the beginning, I used to offer budgeting services, and I ended up having to stop because what I wanted to give you guys and what I was able to do in the amount of time that I had with you all, it just wasn't matching up for me. Oh, I like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love that. I love that. And that's what we're going to call it. And that's what we're going to call it. Because period. I swear I love y'all. You're going to make me cry. I swear I love y'all so much. I love that. So, matter of fact, we're going to do a whole announcement in the Facebook group. But we got a name now for the budgeting program. Okay, so I guess I might as well put this up now since we're talking about it. Because the budgeting program is back. I'm super excited for it to be back. I've been able to partner with a company known as Physical. Shout out to Lou. And I would not have that connection without TikTok. So first of all, shout out to TikTok, because how I got connected with Physical was through a mutual of mine here on TikTok. And what it does is it enables me to not only help more people, but to be more comprehensive in the education that I'm providing those of you who need help with budgeting. And I thought it was really cool because when I say this thing gets all in your business, y'all, it gets all in your business. Let me see if I can share my screen. What do you think about Truebill? Hey, girl. Hey, Keisha. How do I say this? I don't dislike Truebill, but it's not my favorite. I've heard a lot of complaints. I did not have a negative experience when I tested it out, but I've just heard way too many complaints for me to put a stamp on it and be like, yes, everybody use this. But they're all like software issues, in my opinion. Look, she said she disliked it. What do you not like about it? Like, all I hear is complaints when it comes to Truebill. So I try really, really hard not to recommend them. But I want to show you guys something. Let me see. I know Instagram, you guys can't see my screen, and I really, really hate that for y'all. But I want to show you guys this. Let me see. I'll take this one off. So share my screen. Let me see. Share screen. Chrome tab. Here it is right here. All right, so this is my website. Everybody's been on my website before. If you go on themoneyplug.co, which is my website, there's a new section on my website that says make a budget. When you click on make a budget without touching the drop-down menu, it takes you to this page. I'll read it out for you guys since you guys can't see it. But it says, one of the biggest obstacles to building and maintaining good credit is not managing your money correctly. If I asked you right now to show me your budget, could you? If not, no worries. The links below can be used to create savings plans for things like a wedding or a car or even a short monthly expense budget. If you want to go into more detail with your finances and would like a comprehensive financial analysis, including a shiny new budget, you can click here to schedule with me. So it works just like a credit audit. If any of you have ever had a credit audit with me or have been on here when I'm discussing the audits, how it works is we literally sit down for an hour and I get all in your business. Whether it's credit or now including your budget, I learn as much about you as possible so that we're not just giving you a one-size-fits-all budget plan. We're actually understanding what your goals are towards retirement. Are you saving for a home? Are you saving for a down payment on the car? What kind of credit card debt do you have? What are the interest rates associated with your credit cards? Which credit card would it, behoove you to pay off first? If any of you are in the military, you know why that's so funny. These conversations that I'm often having with my clients when we're having credit conversations, I was really struggling to really find a software that would help me package it all together. So shout out to Physical for really making this an option and helping me bring this into fruition for you guys. And I'm really, really excited. Technically, it debuts August 1st, but if you're in my Facebook group, then you guys got access to it early. And now I'm telling everybody else about it. So these I keep calling them mini calcs, right? These mini calcs are available for you guys. You can test them out. These are all free. So if you're looking on our website and you're on the Make a Budget page, all of these links right here are free. You do not have to pay me to use these links. There's a 3-minute financial plan, which shows it's It takes a look at what your goals are and gives you a plan. Yes, we are still on for September 1st. We're going to talk about that too today. So this gives you kind of like a brief overview of what your goals should be aligned towards. It's not going to show you an actual budget, but it's going to take all the information that you give them and give you kind of like a roadmap, I guess you could say. That's a really good way to put it, a roadmap. The credit card repayment calculator. So if you're thinking about putting a purchase on your credit card, you can click on the credit card repayment calculator. I'll actually show you guys what it looks like. We get on here, you'll put what your balance is, your interest rate, what your current minimum monthly payment is, and how do you want to pay this card back? Do you want to pay a specific amount every month, or do you want to pick a specific time or amount of months that you'll pay it back? So let's say I want to put a purchase for $5,500 on my credit card. My interest rate is 13%. My current minimum monthly payment is $50, just, guessing. Oh shoot. Okay, so that's not enough. Let's see, 75. Boom. So once I put the what my minimum monthly payment is, this tells me how many months it's going to take me to pay this off if I only pay the minimum monthly payment. And it's also going to calculate how much interest I'm going to end up paying, which is $5,511.80. So if I say that I want to pay this off in, let's say I want to pay it off in 7 months, this shows me what my minimum payment needs to be every month in order to pay it off according to whatever my goals is. And it's also going to tell you how much interest you're going to end up paying. So by increasing my monthly payment to $820, I'll pay my credit card off 140 months faster and save $5,000 in interest. So let's say I want to I'm late, but do the audit, guys. No, for real. I'm telling y'all, look at this. This shows me, this compares what my goal repayment is, because I want to pay the card off in 7 months, compared to if I just pay the minimum amount, how long it's going to take me to pay it off. And then you'll enter your email address down here and you'll get a copy of it. So I just think this is really cool. And so pretty much for all of these mini calcs is what I call them, you're able to do it for anything. So you'll be able to, thinking about a debt consolidation loan, let's calculate your monthly payments and how long it'll take to pay it off. Want to set up an emergency fund? Let's calculate how long it'll take you to save it. Listen, the biggest like I tell you guys, the biggest conversation that I have when I'm talking to people about their credit is that they can't manage their money properly. A lot of people don't know how much money they're bringing in every month. A lot of people don't know how much money they got coming out. People have subscriptions they never even considered. And it's easy for me to just be like, oh, okay, well, print out a copy of your monthly statement, look at it and do it on your own. Or you can come here and have me, help you out. Keisha said, he said, fix your credit, girl, get your bag up. No, for real. Started off in the 4s, now I'm in the 6s, following strictly everything Markia has suggested. Yes, and let me tell you, I love Keisha. She knows what she's talking about. I love my clients. I genuinely love interacting with you guys, even outside of our appointments. And if you, I'm surprised Ernestine is not on here, because she's another one who's such a sweetheart. But the biggest thing for a lot of people is that you don't have somebody who can look at what you're doing and telling you it's not working. It's not working. At the end of the day, the only reason you are in this position is because what you are currently doing is not working. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. When it comes to your finances, you don't have that kind of time. Life is unfortunately super duper short, right? So we need to get it together now, especially because y'all got goals and stuff y'all trying to accomplish. So I'm super excited. It's really, really easy. If you want to do the comprehensive financial analysis, which is what it's called, you'll click here, and then this pulls up. It tells you what a budget audit is, and then you would sign up right here. This information puts you in my system, and then you would receive a series of emails that will give you more details on how to schedule your onboarding appointment, what you'll need for that appointment, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, she is here. I'm telling y'all, she's another one of my favorites. I love her. But I'm super excited to really debut this for you guys, mainly because I hated when I had to get rid of it, but I felt like I could not give you guys the best service the way I was doing it before. So I'm excited for it to be back. I hope you guys like it. Again, please share that link, with your friends, with your family, right? Like that's the link at the bottom if you're interested. And it's themoneyplug.co/budgeting dash services. Or you can just go to themoneyplug.co and click on make a budget at the top of your screen. The nails are on fleek. Damn, I'm so proud and inspired by you. Oh, don't make me cry, Blake, because I love you to death, like to pieces. So don't make me cry. But for those of you, I got to get out of Georgia to fix my credit. You don't. We'll sit there. We can sit down and talk about it. As a matter of fact, email me, please, or send me a message and we'll talk. But you don't have to get out of Georgia to fix your credit. But I tell y'all what, y'all in Georgia got to chill out with them CPNs because y'all be surprised how many people have reached out to me trying to get one. I do not sell CPNs. Let's be clear. I do not know where to get one. Don't tell me where to get one. I don't want to know none of that. CPNs are illegal as fuck and I don't want nothing to do with them. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there now. But I don't know. I'm just super, super, super excited about having the budgeting program back. I've been testing it out onesie, twosie on a couple of my clients, on my credit clients, and I've definitely seen an improvement, not only in their credit, but just in their confidence. Being able to see your money and see where it's supposed to go and to see what's supposed to happen, what's actually happening, and then like the difference in between. Like, I really feel like that's been holding people accountable is kind of an eye opener. A lot of people aren't used to that. They don't have people in their lives who can hold them accountable in the right ways. And so to be honest, I don't know. Everybody has benefited from it. And I know that sounds super cliche, but I have yet to find somebody who has had a negative experience with this so far. So I'm excited for you guys to test it out. So you are able to go ahead and start signing up now, even though technically I'm not announcing it on my social media platforms until the 1st. So that's that. Okay, so these are my nails. Shout out to her name on Instagram is Nails Done by Serena. Y'all know that is the only girl who touched my nails. That's why my nails weren't done for like those weeks. But I just came back from vacation. Can y'all tell? Look, I got my nose pierced. Y'all, I went and got a tattoo. I was showing off. So, and it's a couple people who matter of fact, I wish I would have got her name. I met this really, really nice lady in line in Rolling Loud. She just kept saying like, "Oh, you look familiar." And I was like, well, "Where you from?" And she was just like, "From Mississippi." And I was like, "I've never been there before." And like the next day I posted a video on my TikTok and she was like, "Oh my God, I knew you from somewhere. I'm the lady that was talking to you in line." So that was really, really cool to be able to meet somebody who actually follows me on TikTok. So if you're watching this, hey girl. But her and her husband were so sweet. And I was even passing, y'all would have been so proud of me. I was passing out cards at Rolling Loud. I had got a visor made. And it had my Instagram name on it, and I was walking around with it. Like, I had a ball. Let me tell y'all, the Money Plug had a ball in Miami. So if y'all saw me, shout out to y'all because I don't remember nothing. I had so much fun. But let me tell y'all, I ran them cards up. Do y'all hear me? So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So, and I actually am gonna be talking about that too, about how I use my credit card on my trip, like the points I got out of it once all that stuff goes through, and then like how I paid it off and all that kind of stuff. So this is gonna be really cool to talk about. But yes, I'm very well rested. I had a ball on this vacation, y'all. So I'm just super excited to be back and to be able to talk to y'all about it. Something else that's going on. If you guys follow me, I announced it yesterday, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live Twitter space with Credit Sesame. So this month, for those of you who don't know, is Military Consumer Month. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been, or consumer.gov, for those of you who want to visit the website, has been putting out a lot of information this month specific towards military personnel, some of the things that we deal with, scams we often see, tips for us during the PCS process, how to save money, like unique situations that service members often find ourselves in, like the SCRA or the Service Member Civil Relief Act, for those of you who are not familiar, and things like that. And so tomorrow I am going to be doing a financial wellness live on Twitter Spaces at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Credit Sesame. The link to RSVP is posted on my Twitter page. It's the pinned post. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, let me see if I can pick one of the other banners here. No, there it is right there. So if you look at the banner on the bottom of your screen, guys, follow me on Twitter at THEE Money Plug, and the pinned post has a link for you to RSVP for the Twitter space. come show your support. Even if y'all not in the military, you are definitely more than welcome to come and listen to the tips and stuff, because it still applies to you too. The situation might be a little different, but all of these tools, for the most part, anybody can use, with the exception of the SCRA. That's something a little different. But all of you are welcome to pull up on me. Come on, come through. You ain't got to ask no questions or nothing. Y'all could just sit in the audience and just snap your fingers, right? But definitely pull up on me tomorrow. Share it with all of your friends who are vets. It's posted on all of my social media pages, to include Pinterest. And yeah, I think that's it. But if you know anything about me and Credit Sesame, I thoroughly enjoy the relationship that I have with them. That Sesame Cash card is definitely pulling me through. Let me tell you, because y'all, matter of fact, where's my wallet? Y'all know I show y'all products that I actually use. See, here it is right here. Ta-da, my Sesame Cash card. So y'all definitely want to pull up, because I'm going to be talking about how I use my Sesame Cash card. And it's an unpaid event. This is something I definitely, volunteered to do. Not because I want to get paid to do it, but because I really love the tools that they give you guys to build your credit. I talk about it for free all the time. And I really want to be able to kind of use their platform to spread the message even more about the importance of understanding your credit. I hate that we are in this kind of like weird place where everybody thinks credit is a scam. And so nobody is not only trusting credit repair specialists, which, okay, I can understand, but even credit educators. A lot of people aren't really listening to us because they feel like since credit is a scam, they don't need it. And that's probably the most dangerous headspace to be in, because whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or not, unfortunately, if you live in America, credit is required in order to survive. Credit is not just your ability to go into a bank and walk out with cash in your pocket. Your credit can determine what you're paying for car insurance, what neighborhoods you lived in. Yes, you can ask whatever questions you want in the comments. That's how my lives work. So your credit determines a lot. And so it's really important that you're not only understanding what to add to your profile to help your score, but why these things are happening to you when something negative happens. So I'm super excited for this. Like I said, you guys make sure you pull up tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping you guys learn something from this, or at least have questions, and you guys can tweet me and we can talk about it. So I'm going to try to go live on Twitter and TikTok at the same time. Unfortunately, I might not be able to swing Facebook and all that stuff too, but we'll definitely see. I just want to see if I can't stream live on Facebook during the event. What I will do is I'll take the TikTok recording and upload it into the Facebook group for you guys with Facebook, and hopefully YouTube for you guys who don't have Facebook, to make it so that it's available everywhere. So make sure y'all put it on y'all calendars, right? Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be live on Twitter Spaces with Credit Sesame, which is really cool. Okay, course update, because somebody was asking. So y'all know I've been working on this course. Instead of releasing the entire course all at one time and kind of overwhelming you guys, we're doing it in waves. I say we like I'm not my only employee. I'm releasing it in waves. And so how it's going to work is the very first section is going to be the FCRA. This is going to be a comprehensive class on the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I'm going to be identifying some key parts that you guys need to pay closer attention to, as well as some common violations that I see in repairing credit, how to combat those, what are the penalties for these organizations or businesses that are violating your rights under the FCRA, and what are your kind of rights as a consumer? Like, what does this mean for you? You hear so many people talking about the FCRA and telling you bullshit, by the way, but you hear all these people talking about the FCRA, but where can you go to find the most accurate information? That's something else I want to talk about. Are you a financial planner? So I'm a certified financial education instructor, a board certified credit repair specialist, and a board certified credit score consultant. I'm not a certified financial planner yet, crossing my fingers, but I'm knocking out my certifications one by one so that I can provide you guys the best possible experience when you guys are interacting with me. My bank account went into the negatives and I got a letter saying it has been charged off. What should I do now? So the biggest thing is you're going to end up having to pay that debt. When you have a charge off, what normally happens is this means that they closed the account, but the amount of money that you still owe is legit. So what I would suggest from you is, before this problem could get any bigger, maybe they'll take you to court. Since this is a bank account, you could end up in check systems and have a hard time getting a bank account somewhere else. What I would suggest is reaching out to that financial institution and seeing if you can set up some sort of payment arrangement, or make it so that, you guys are on the same page with you paying that money back. Because what you don't want is to end up in court or to end up in check systems, because it's going to make it almost impossible for you to get a bank account if you end up in systems like that. What else I got going on that I wanted to talk to you about? Oh, so I am opening up my calendar for Q4 in like events. So between October, November, and December, if you have any events or you would like to put together an event either in person, because I do love to travel. If I can drive there, I'm in there. I tell people that all the time. I really don't like flying. I prefer driving, but if I can drive there, I'll get there. Or if you want to set up a virtual event, that is also perfectly fine. My contact information is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Sorry, Instagram. But my LinkedIn is linkedin.com/in/themoneyplug. You can also find me on Facebook at Markia B, aka The Money Plug, or you can email me at markiab@themoneyplug.co. I love speaking to you guys. I've spoken with students from Towson University. I've spoken at churches. I've spoken at high schools, or with high schools rather. I've spoken with parents at like PTA meetings. And I love it. I love speaking to you guys because number one, the biggest kind of takeaway from these events is that credit and finances in general is not one size fits all. And so by talking to these people and understanding what their issues is, I can tailor my programs and the things that they're learning to their experiences so that they better retain that information. And I feel like that's the most important part that's missing from a lot of these financial literacy programs, is that they believe that everybody's finances should look the same, or if it looks like this, it's perfect. The idea of a perfect credit report or a perfect financial picture, get it out of your head. It's going to stress you out and it's going to make you want to pull your hair out. It's not possible. The biggest thing is that you need to understand that your situation is unique, so your solution might be just as unique. And so I'm super excited. Obviously, that's the holidays, so I don't want to pack my schedule with too much, but if you want me to come speak to your organization or at your organization, please don't hesitate to reach out. We can definitely talk. Let me see. Well, my other accounts closed from other banks since I have a charge off with another bank. And does this affect my credit? And would I have to pay the balance in full, or can I do payments? So normally with a charged off account, like let's say if it was a credit card, it will affect your credit simply because this is a debt that you owe now. Usually when there's a charge off, it means that you missed payments that led up to the charge off. So those missed payments will affect your credit because payment history is 35% of your credit score, as well as the charge off itself will bring your score down too. And the fact that you still owe. That balance won't necessarily affect your score, but it will affect your credit worthiness. Now, because this is just a bank account that you have that you didn't pay, it's not affecting your score yet, but it could potentially get that far if they end up selling that debt to a collection company or taking you to court and suing you for that amount. So I would keep an eye on the account. Now, it really depends on the institution itself as far as will you have to pay it in full or can you pay in increments? I can't really answer that for you. That's something you would have to discuss with them. But most banks just want their money. However you give it to them is however you give it to them. But as long as you all are on the same page with your payback schedule or something like that, that's the most important part. A lot of people fail to communicate when it comes to paying back these accounts. And that is what leads to their accounts being sold to a collection company, or it leads to people having to go to court and stuff like that. I need help bad. My credit is horrible and I'm in a wreck. Help me, please. Sure, girl, click. I'll put the regular thing at the bottom. You can go to my website and click contact me to send me an email. You can DM me on Instagram. I try to go through all my DMs, or you can shoot me an email and I'll definitely get back to you. If you're interested in services, you can sign up on my website and everything. It's a million ways to get in contact with me. But I hope I answered your question about your charge off. Anybody else got some more questions? Y'all been real quiet. That's really just honestly probably the last update I had for you guys. I think I was just more so excited to be back. What other questions y'all got for me? I want to go back to talk about credit cards real quick too, because somebody DM'd me, and I feel like y'all missed the beginning. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media. Hold on. I can access your website. Do you do consultation or advice to older people planning retirement? So I don't have a program that's necessarily geared towards older people. And really the only consulting towards retirement I do is like, if you have a particular goal, when we do the budget analysis, we kind of talk about it, enter in your like figures, and it'll tell you like how long you'll have to make these payments to really see the amount that you want or the amount that you want to be comfortable with. I really don't get too much into detail because like I said, I'm not a certified financial planner. But I might have a recommendation for you. I need to see if she has any openings. But if you DM me what you're looking for, I can try to find somebody who's in that space that can help you. I do want to go back to talking about, I forgot I was introducing myself. How about that? So my name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media. I'm a certified financial education instructor, as well as a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I use my platform to teach you guys the importance of credit. A lot of times when we talk about financial literacy, we talk about everything else except credit, or they'll talk about your finances and then tell you stay away from credit cards, when that's actually not a good idea for most people. So what I do is I try to kind of get rid of the stigma associated with bad credit. Bad credit doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you fucked up. We all fucked up. It's life. So, I really want to kind of get rid of the stigma surrounding bad credit and bad conversations or emotions that are tied to those conversations. Because I feel like the more content I put out, the more relatable it becomes, the easier these conversations will be in your household, so that I can effectively create change. There are people who find value in my content if you do follow me. But I really want to talk about credit cards, because when we talk about credit cards, I know they have a really, really bad reputation. And I get it, because a lot of people have a lot of credit card debt, but that comes from or stems from a lack of knowledge on how to use them properly, not necessarily bad discipline all the time. So I definitely wanted to clarify that. It's not always bad discipline. It's just you don't know how to use it properly. And so you don't use it properly. And to be honest, for most people, you don't know what you don't know. It's not something that you can magic up. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. I seen you come on my live, Chavez. I promise, just 15 more minutes. I know he's about to keep me on. So when it comes to credit cards, you're supposed to use your credit cards more than your debit cards, period. No caveat, no nothing. You're supposed to use your credit cards more than your debit cards. That's why when you get to those higher tier cards, they're rewarding you for everyday purchases, because that's what you're supposed to be using them for. Now, I understand a lot of us was raised to believe that you only use credit cards for emergencies, but you got to think about it like this. If I use my credit card in case of an emergency and I have a 15% interest rate, I'm paying 15% interest on top of a purchase that I clearly don't have the money to pay. Otherwise, I would have paid the cash anyway. So this is going to put me further behind the 8 ball with trying to pay this amount down, because I don't have the money to pay it. When it comes to your credit card, you should only be spending money that you have, or money that you've already budgeted for this expense. It's $0 down to put a down payment and reserve rolling out Miami 2023. My husband got the bug now, y'all. Okay, baby. We'll talk when I get off of here. So the example that I always use is me getting gas. I don't typically leave my house too much, so I get gas at the same time pretty much every week. So if I go every Wednesday and go get gas at the 7-Eleven and I spend $50 each time, and I'm using my debit card, I'm spending $50 to go get gas every week, right? That's my pattern. Now, if I stop using my debit card, let's say I get a credit card and again, your credit cards should support the spending you're already doing, not encourage you to spend more. What I mean by that is, once you get to a point where you kind of get your pick of the litter with credit cards, you should only be adding cards to your profile that's going to benefit you as the consumer, because at the end of the day, it's all about you. So for me, I have a credit card that's going to reward me for my gas, right? Because I get gas every Wednesday. This is a purchase that I've already budgeted out every month. This is a purchase that I have to make every month. And this is a purchase that I was already doing with my debit card. I have no problem conjuring up that $50. So now, instead of using my $50 off my debit card, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my credit card. I'm going to swipe it, and it's going to have a $50 charge on it. It's just that when I get home, I'm going to schedule a same-day payment for that $50. Now, what I've effectively done is spent the same $50. It's just that now I'm getting 3% cash back on that gas purchase that I was already going to make anyway, or I'm getting points for the purchases I was already going to do anyway. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you see that I talked about how I love to stay at the Hilton when I go out of town. And so I've got a credit card that's going to give me Hilton honors points, so that every time I stay at the Hilton, which I have to do anyway when I'm out of town, I'm getting rewarded for it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Your credit cards should support or benefit from your current spending habits, not that threw me completely off, not encourage you to spend more money. It's not about going out and balling out. You're spending the same amount of money that you was doing with your debit card. It's just that you're using your credit card to do so, and then you'll pay your credit card off with the money that you have in your bank account. So you're not spending more money, which confuses a lot of people because you're paying it off by the end of the month to avoid interest. You're paying the exact same amount of money that you were going to end up paying if you paid cash. It's just that now you are getting more out of that purchase. Anyone know how to do taxes / fill out a W-4? I'm lost. I don't know how to adopt. That is actually a really... You know what? If any of you know a tax professional who would love to do a joint live, I would love to do that with them. Maybe that's something we can talk about. I'll see if I can find somebody to teach you guys. Let's talk about that. Somebody that I followed on TikTok, Jar Jar, who helped me understand the W-4 process, especially because I'm a contractor now, essentially. What is his name? Duke Loves Taxes. Duke Loves Taxes. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But he does this weird skit with like him, and it's still him, but it's like his sister, and it's like a weird high voice, like, oh my God, how do I fill this out? But he actually did a partnership with the IRS, and I thought it was really cool because he has these really big blown up kind of diorama things of a W-4, and he explains how to fill it out to maximize like your return if you want to return and stuff like that. I need a tax professional for my business. Oh, inbox me, Jelly. I don't know why you ain't told me this before. I know somebody. I'll know somebody that I recommend, highly recommend. I can't think of her name on the top of my head, but I'll send it. I'll send you the profile. But I think that's the only update I have for you guys, to be honest with you. Let me see how much time I got left. I have 10 more minutes. What other questions y'all got for me? What other questions y'all got for me? Somebody DM'd me earlier. So on my Instagram post, on my Instagram story, I put, what credit questions do you have today? And I typically respond to them, in their DMs because I don't want to put nobody on the spot. But one question that I got today was about pay to delete. And pay to delete, how it works is when it comes to collections, the only way to get points back with the collection is to remove it. But how do you kind of remove it and still pay it at the same time? Because we all know when you dispute a collection, it can come off and that's fine, but that does not absolve you of the debt that's owed. And so a lot of times what ends up happening is they just sell it to another collection company. And now the new collection company is going to report. So how do you remove collection accounts and guarantee that they won't come back? And the answer in most cases is they pay to delete. The biggest thing to understand with pay to delete is that a company don't have to do it. It's completely their prerogative. And if it's against their company policy, they're not going to do it. Now, some companies have it written in their policy that once an account is paid in full, it is then removed from the credit report. But again, that requires you to do a little research into the company itself that owns your debt. Now, pay to delete is where you negotiate. So in exchange for the money that you owe them or a portion of the money that you owe them, they'll stop reporting to the credit bureaus. This only works for collections. You cannot do this with a charge-off because when it comes to charge-offs, this is with the original creditor. The original creditor has something known as an obligation or a duty to report. They have to report the history associated with your account to the credit bureaus, including the fact that it was charged off. With the collection company, there is no history associated with it because they just bought the rights to collect on the debt. You don't have a contract with them saying that you're going to pay them every month. And so they don't have a history to report. So if they don't want to report, they don't have to. So that's literally how a pay to delete works. You incentivize them to stop reporting. Is buying trade lines good? No, you shouldn't have. First of all, the purchase or sale of trade lines is considered a violation of the accounts themselves. This is the illegal purchase or sale of the intellectual property of these financial institutions. And so I will never recommend buying trade lines because I'm not about to get caught up in that. And there are a lot of credit repair specialists who advertise stuff like that, and that's fine. But I did a video probably like a year ago now where I talked about a guy named Derek Harper. He's a super heavy hitter in the credit community, like a millionaire. And he got hemmed up by the government on I think it was like racketeering charges or some other stuff, but it was associated with buying and selling trade lines as well as like CPNs and stuff like that. I don't recommend it. How long does raising your credit score usually take? Also, what counts as a good credit score? So raising your credit score, there's no set amount of time that anything happens. It really depends on what is affecting your score and what you are doing to improve it. In some situations, you can see changes as early as 30 days, and sometimes it could take longer. For example, the easiest so there are 5 categories that are used to determine your credit score. It's payment history, credit card utilization, the time or length of credit history, mix of accounts, and inquiry/new accounts. The easiest section to manipulate is the credit utilization section, because what that means is it is a percentage of your overall available credit that you're actually using. So let's say you got 3 credit cards that's worth $1,000 a piece. That's $3,000 in available credit. If you use your credit cards and you max them all out, you're using 100% of your available credit, which would tank your score. But if you are managing your balances properly, like paying your balances down before your statement date, making sure you're not carrying over balances for interest and things like that, then you can maximize the points you're getting from that section and see an increase as early as 30 days from whenever the next time your score updates. Now, if you are disputing something, it could take longer because companies have anywhere from 30 to 45 business days to respond, not calendar days, business days, which excludes weekends and federal holidays and stuff like that. So it's really a range. It really depends on what's wrong with your credit and what you're doing to fix it. Now, what counts as a good credit score? Obviously, 750 is like good to go. Anything over 750, honestly, at that point is cosmetic. There's nothing that you can apply for a 750 that you'll be denied for that they require you to have like an 800 to get. What I will say is that you can still buy a house with a 6 in your credit score. You can get credit cards with a 5 in your credit score, So I definitely don't want you guys obsessing over the numbers, because the numbers aren't the important part. I know people who have 7-something credit scores and still are denied for things because of what is reporting on their credit cards, their credit reports, not necessarily what their credit score is. So that's also something you guys have to understand too. So many people hyper focus on the score, not necessarily what is reporting on your credit, and that always has an adverse impact, because you'll get to a point where you don't understand why you're still being denied for things because you have a 700 something credit score, not understanding that things like high balances, or if you have a lot of accounts with balances, or if you apply for too many things in a 12-month time period, all of these things play a role, not only in your score, but in your overall credit worthiness. And that's the important part. What's reporting on your credit matters. That's the most important part. How many minutes I got? All right, I got 5 more minutes. What other questions y'all got for me? I learned, can the original company continue to report the charge-off every month when they sold the debt? No, once the debt is sold, that's it. They don't own the rights to that debt. Well, it depends. Let me put it like this. When a debt is charged off, a company has some options, right? They can either hire a debt management company, which helps them collect the debt, or they can sell the rights to collect on that debt to a debt collection company. Now, once it's sold to a debt collection company, it'll pop up on your credit report, right? And this collection company is who you would talk to, who you would pay, et cetera, et cetera. The original creditor, that charged off account is charged off. They no longer have anything to update, report, none of that. And if it continues to update, that's considered a false manipulation of the date of last activity. But there's no money that you owe, so I really don't see that happening. Now, if a debt management company has taken over the responsibilities of collecting on that debt, that's a different situation, and it varies. So I would need to know the intimate details about that. But debt management and debt collection is 2 different things, and it's very important that you guys are able to identify that distinction. And a lot of times you can do that just by researching the company that reaches out to you for payment. Literally, a Google search of that company can teach you a lot. It'll tell you whether or not they do pay to delete. You can see customer reviews. You can see all kinds of things if you guys research these collection companies that are reaching out to you. It can also sometimes keep you from being scammed, because it could be a company scamming you, sending you fake debt papers saying that you owe them, just trying to get some money out of you. So what other questions y'all got for me? I learned to pay my credit card every 2 weeks. I went from $151 to $38 a month. Oh, wow. That's actually really, really smart. That's actually really, really smart. Do credit builders like Self really help your credit reports / credit score? Yes, I'm a huge supporter of Self. I personally use Self. If you are a parent, let me tell y'all my hack. If you are a parent, right, especially if you got multiple kids, what I do is around every September, October, I will open up a Self account. And what Self does is you pick how much you want your loan to be, right? And every month that amount is drafted out of my account and put into this Self credit builder loan. And once the loan is paid off, what actually ends up, and you set how long you want to pay it off too. I typically do 12 months, but you can do it up to 2 years. And once it's paid off, what actually happens is you were actually paying into a certificate of deposit, and you get all the money you paid into the program back. But every month that you made that payment, that on-time monthly payment, it reports that on-time monthly payment to your credit. Payment history is 35% of your score. So the more accounts that you have reporting on-time monthly payments, the better for your credit score and the better for your credit report. Another benefit to self that I like is that normally, like credit cards and loans and stuff, when you have a low credit score, like anything's in the 5s and the low 6s, it's really hard for you to get approved for stuff. But self takes that stuff into account. And as long as you're not in an active bankruptcy, right, then they will allow you for the most part to get an account. Even a credit card. How the credit card works is as long as you have at least 3 on-time payments and have at least $100 paid into the self credit builder loan, they will give you access to the self credit card. It is a regular credit card. It's a secured card. It's just that instead of you having to put down a deposit on the card, what actually ends up happening is that they will borrow that money from the self credit builder loan that you already had in there saved up, and that will be your credit limit. And over time, they'll add to it or ask you, do you want to increase it? And it'll pull it out from your loan or your savings account, right? And then that will be your new credit limit. And so I love it because it gives people who normally would not have access to these things to build their credit, it gives them that access. So that's one of the reasons why I'm obsessed with self. I really, really love it. But I highly recommend it for people who are rebuilding their credit. And I got a couple minutes, so let me see if I can hurry up and pull this up. So for those of you who haven't been following me that long, I do these free webinars every month, and one that was really, really popular. Let's see, credit building. Oh, shoot. Credit card. One of them that was really, really popular was the one that I did for college students, like high school graduates, college graduates, kind of helping them. Damn it, Alexa, snooze for 5 minutes. All right. And what it did was I broke down the different tiers of credit cards. So like you would know where as long as you know where you are, you would kind of know what cards you qualify for. Let me see if I can take these banners off right quick so I can show you guys. And so this is available for free on my website. If you guys go to themoneyplug.co, now sorry guys, I know you can't see it, but if you go to themoneyplug.co and go to my online shop, you're able to download this for free. It's called the Credit Card Cliff Notes. And what it is, it's literally just me breaking down the different credit card tiers. So like tier 1 is starter cards. This is where you start if you have absolutely positively no credit history, right? Or a little bit of credit history. It tells you about the pros and cons of starter cards, what kind of cards you'll typically see in this tier, and it also gives you some examples. The Capital One, Saver One, Student Cash Rewards credit card, the Discover It secured card, the Chase Freedom student credit card, and it kind of goes on and on like that with the different tiers. At the back of this ebook, I put together some additional sections. So after tier 5, there's a section that says rebuilding subprime secured credit cards. So these are some secure cards that if you're rebuilding your credit, let's say you just don't have the best credit history, if you're rebuilding your credit, you'll be able to kind of qualify for these cards. Now, these kinds of cards do have a higher interest rate. Sometimes they have like an annual fee, but these are good cards if you're trying to rebuild your credit. These are some unsecured cards. If you have a bankruptcy, these are some cards that will accept you even with that bankruptcy on your credit. Because if you have a bankruptcy, you know that a lot of times that bankruptcy is why you get denied. So here are some cards that will kind of give you that chance. And then there's a section that's called prepaid credit cards. A lot of people think prepaid credit cards and secured cards are the same thing, and they're not. A prepaid credit card essentially is a glorified debit card. You would use it exactly like a debit card. My Sesame Cash card, that is a debit card. But what it does is every month that I use this card, it's going to report one-time payment history for that month. It's not going to affect my credit card utilization at all, but it is going to add that another little green circle for payment history. So if you have late payments, if you have charge off, if you have missed payments, whatever the case may be, you know that adding more account with on-time payment history will kind of help over time recover those points that you lost. And so these accounts, oh shoot, that was today. Oh shoot. These accounts, shoot, I lost my train of thought. I don't know how I forgot about that. These accounts will help you get there. I don't know how I forgot about that today. But I got to get out of here because my timer went off. And I was supposed to be done this a long time ago. So if you want a copy of that, it's available for free on my website. It's called the Credit Card Cliff Notes. It's literally $0.00. You do have to add it to your cart and check out, and it'll email it to you, but it's yours 100% for free. Let's see. Where can you find this book? Yeah, so if you go to themoneyplug.co, which is my website right here, right? I know you guys can't see that, so that looks crazy when I'm pointing at stuff. But themoneyplug.co is my website. If you go into my online shop on the website, you'll be able to find it in the things that I offer for sale. Raquel, you did miss it, but you already know how to do. If you want to watch the replay, you just got to wait till I log off. And then as soon as I log off, you'll be able to watch the replay on Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. Do you have a current CEO email list? My email was returned. Oh, damn. Okay. Not me adding to my to-do list. I will go through and see if I can get you an updated list. Bree, DM me on Instagram who you was looking for, and I'll see if I can get you that first. I need an updated, let me see, updated CEO list. All right, but I got to get out of here because I was supposed to be off of here a long time ago, apparently, because I'm late for something as usual. Everybody who know me know I'm always late. But thank you guys so much for all of the support. You guys know how much it means to me. You guys have literally changed my life, so it means a whole lot. If you're interested in my service, my website will tell you everything you need to know. But y'all, make sure you follow me on all my little social media platforms. That would be great. Here they all are for you guys to look at. I'm on Instagram at THEE Money Plug. I'm on YouTube at WWTMPD. What would the Money Plug do? I'm on TikTok at themoneyplug.co. And I'm on Facebook at Markia B, aka the Money Plug. I just be waiting like time for a routine credit check. No, for real. I had so many people DMing me on Friday, not knowing that I was on vacation, but I'm back. I'll probably go live. I'll go live early. I'll go live on Thursday instead of Friday this week, which is tomorrow after the Credit Sesame event. Please make sure y'all pull up on me, but I got to get out of here. Alexa, dismiss. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If I don't see you guys for the rest of the week, y'all already know what I say. Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.